We are finally back with the Detroit Tigers to finish off year one. Welcome back, guys. It's been a minute, but I was busy, but now we're back. So we got 31 days until we reach the postseason. Just 1 month, essentially, plus 1 day in October, but this right here is the final month of the calendar season, and once we get through this, we're going to be heading into the offseason for the first time here in the series. Detroit is currently 18 games below 500 at 58-76. We have no chance of making the postseason, so we're going to get through this episode pretty quickly, but we're going to focus on Spencer Torkelson up here in the majors to start off, and then we're going to go down and watch Ky Bush in Double-A to pitch because we traded for him a couple episodes back. And just want to make sure that we get some more info on him. We get some more action for him to see what he can do. And we'll also try and keep up with a couple of other players down in the minors as well. So without further ado, let's jump in. We do have September call-ups coming up, but I mean, it's not really going to matter a whole lot for us, but we can call up 2 players. So let's just take a look and see, who might be worth calling up from either triple or Double-A. Now, Jackson Jobe is up to a 70 overall, has B potential, and he's having a really good season, but I'm not going to call him up today. In fact, he won't be called up at all this year. We're going to see how he does next year. I think he'll start in Double-A next season for the first couple of weeks, the first month or so, and then if he is playing as well as he is right now, then we'll probably move him up to Triple-A early on in the season in year 2. Ky Bush so far this year averaging a 2.42 ERA. He's 7-4 on the year through 24 games started, allowing 40 earned runs and 148 innings pitched. Really good stuff. A whip of 1.22, 15 quality starts out of 24 attempts. That's fantastic. And he's just having a great season. 4.8 WAR. That is really nice. Really, really nice. So Ky Bush, I like you so far, pal. But what about AAA? Who deserves the last 2 spots on the active roster for the last month of this season? Well, let's take a look. Pedro Leon is our top rated player over here after we made the trade for him. And he's batting .260 down in AAA this year. Has played a whole lot down there. Slugging below 400. But he's a good base stealer, a good base runner, 2.9 WAR. Doesn't have many errors under his belts. He's been caught stealing 1 time and has 16 steals. I don't know if I want to call him up. I mean, these ratings are going up, which is good, and his overall is going up. Maybe he's worth calling up for the last month of this season just because, he's already a 70 overall, and maybe worth just to see what he can do. So we'll make him the go-to guy. I might have to clear some spots on the 40-man roster, but it looks like I won't have to for him, so we can move him up to the MLB for the rest of the season. And I don't think I want to call up a pitcher for the last month of the year, so we'll go for another position player. Looks like Navigado is still batting pretty well, but not as well as he was earlier before we called him up to the MLB earlier in the season. He was batting above 300 prior to that, but now he's batting .280. So definitely not where he needs to be. Is kind of a just permanent AAA player, as we have discussed previously. Honestly, we saw some action for Steele Walker before this episode earlier in the season. You can play in the outfield at any position out there. He's got some mid-level contact and pretty low power, but he's got decent plate vision. Discipline is a little bit low, but honestly, this year, he's played pretty well. 294 average, 503 slugging, 9 steals, caught stealing 5 times. He's batted as much as humanly possible, and he's been pretty good this year. Now, he did play for the Rangers for like 2 or 3 games last season and batted only .071, which is obviously terrible, but that was in 14 at-bats, so not a lot of chances there for him. I think he's worth calling up as well. Just some more outfielders because we did make a couple of trades, so just more playing time for some players I think makes sense. I will have to clear a spot on the 40-man real quick. Out of all the players I'm seeing, Donnie Sands seems like the least productive player so far in AAA. He's a C potential catcher at 26 years old. 60 overall, can play catcher or third base. And I think I will remove him from the 40-man roster. And actually, I've changed my mind. I've changed it quite a bit, actually. Instead of calling up Steele Walker, I'm going to call up Dylan Dingler, who's a catcher. Now, he's been pretty solid this year, batting .293 with 450 slugging, 82% stolen base percentage, only 2 errors this year, 99% fielding, a WAR of 1.0. And I believe we called him up to AAA after he was in AA. I think I just want to see what he can do because we have, Jake Rogers is the only other catcher that we have on the roster right now. I think maybe Dingler is probably going to be possibly better than him, so maybe give him some playing time to end out year 1. I think that's what we'll do, and I'll make some adjustments to our lineups real quick. Yeah, so I'm definitely going to bring in Dingler in place of Jake Rogers, for sure. Now, in the outfield, who do we like? Austin Meadows, if I recall correctly, we did not re-sign him, so he's going to become a free agent. Is it worth playing him right now? I don't really think so. Has he had a good year? Yes. Kerry Carpenter, we did extend, so I think it's worth giving him playing time. So we're going to play Pedro Leon in right field, and we're going to give him and Dingler both playing time. And we'll do the same thing for lefty pitchers as well. Leon will play right field, and we'll bring in Dingler as the catcher. And there we go. I'm going to move Leon down from cleanup, obviously, because that's not where he should be. Let's see if we can put somebody like Torkelson, perhaps, in cleanup and see what he's doing down there. So we head into a series against the White Sox, who are only a handful of games above 500. Dingler making his major league debut, but he's not the focus of this series. It's going to be Torkelson instead. I think what I'll do is probably 3 games with Torkelson, 3 games with Leon, and 3 games with Dingler, just to see how they do, how they're feeling. So we'll see how these guys do up here in the last month of the season. I think the first major league action for both players, at least with Detroit. I know it is for Dingler. So Pedro Leon actually led off the second with a single, and that brings up Torkelson batting 6th. We're facing Mike Clevenger. Low cutter, swung on and fouled, a bit out in front. Again, Torkelson was a 2020 first-round draft pick by the Tigers. He really needs to pan out for us, because if we don't have him pan out, then I get worried about some other prospects that we took in this previous draft. We drafted Larry Ladd 3rd overall, and he's also an infielder with potentially some good contact. He can already hit lefties pretty well, but got to see what he can do against righties as Torkelson grounds it into right field for a base hit. Honestly, got kind of lucky there that circle change ends up with Torkelson on base, but we'd take that. He's batted below 200 since he was called up from AAA, so we need all the average helpers that we can get. And oddly enough, perfect timing, it brings up Dylan Dingler making his first at-bat of his MLB career, and Clevenger gets him down on strikes. Matt Vierling steps up, batting .275 this season. 2 men on and 1 out. Full count, grounded, double play ball, throw to first. Not in time, so runners at the corners and 2 outs. Can the Tigers capitalize? Honestly, probably not. And it looks like we cannot, as Akil Baddoo struck out. Moncada at first, Anderson at the plate. It's grounded. Over to first, double play. Nice work. 6-4-3. Torque leads off the 4th for the Tigers. Swinging through that edge-clipping fastball on the inside. Way behind it. And that one's again ripped to right field, but a nice dive in shallow right has Torque out at first. A White Sox error, 2 walks and a single. Have the Tigers up 2-0 here, top of the 5th. Clevenger's still in there, 2 men on and 1 out for Torkelson. Oh, That is a really slow spitting slider. 0-1 count for Torque. That cutter's chopped off out in front of it. 0-2 hole. Not where you want to be. That's a well-placed pitches by Clevenger so far this at bat. That's up high and inside. Oh, another nice slider right on the corner. Nice placement. Bottom of the fifth, Casey Mize pitching. Benintendi at the plate with 2 outs. Granted right to Torque. He runs over and steps on the bag to end the inning. Detroit's still up 2-0. But 1 inning later, 2 men on once again. Sebi Zavala at the plate with 2 outs. Grounded to Torque. He's there. He goes to Mize. Easy bag tap. Detroit still up 2-1. A string of singles by Chicago ties the game at 2 apiece. We go top of the 8th, 1 out against Reynaldo Lopez. That's outside for ball 1. He's got fastball, slider, curveball, circle change. Mostly off speed as Torque rips the fastball up the middle for a single. He will get on base again. 2 for 4. Dingler 0 for 3 today, but can he get Torkelson in scoring position perhaps? That one is a single into right field. Yes, he can. Torque moves to second. There's the first hit of the career for Dylan Dingler. Congratulations. We actually got to see it ourselves. That's pretty cool. Bierling, next up, chops it. Throw to first in time. That's out number 2 as the runners do advance. Torque at third now with Nick Maton at the plate. He's only batted .217 this year. Definitely will not be returning to our squad, as we know. Pitch on the way. And it's low for ball 4. Bases loaded against Lopez. And who else to lead off but Akil Baddoo? Can he bring at least somebody home to break the tie? 0-2 pitch from Lopez. Got him swinging. And we're going bottom 8. Well, Tim Anderson hit a grand slam in the 8th. Chicago now up by 4, but Torkelson has a chance to keep this game alive with 2 outs top of the 9th. Oh, had a good chance of that slider, but unfortunately we were behind it. The 0-1 from Liam Hendricks is low. Oh, I didn't go around. I didn't do that. Give me a second look at that. Okay, I went actually. Never mind. Not even close. Oh my God. Well, on to game 2. Would you look at that? Not the rest of the box score, but Pedro Leon, 3 for 5 in his debut. And we also saw Dingler get a hit as well. That's good to see. It's one game, but still nice that they both had, decent performances in their debuts. We enter game 2, top of the 2nd, facing Dylan Cease. We've seen him before. He's pretty good. As Torkelson chops a really nice slider right to him on the first pitch. Guess who just hit a single? Pedro Leon. Now we got 2 men on here in the 4th. That's not even touching the edge of the zone. What are you looking at, man? Who is this guy? Honestly, who is he? How do I see the umpire? What's his name? Stats. There's no way to see it, is there? It's probably just one of those things that pops up randomly. Whoever's behind home plate is a dumbass. What are you looking at? I finally don't take a swing and all of a sudden I'm down 0-1. Now it's 0-2 thanks to you, buddy. Come on. That's about right. Finally a good call. Count goes 1-2. Cease at 38 pitches. Here's 39. Outside and low. Trying to get Torque to chase the breaking ball. It's not going to happen, buddy. Oh, come on. He put it in the zone and got to make contact with that one. And we, of course, failed to bring either of those base runners home. So we go top of the 6th, 2 outs. Still a 0-0 score here in Chicago. Torque out in front of the slider. Would have been a nice one to get a piece of if I could time anything correctly besides low fastballs that are not even touching the zone. We are quickly into an 0-2 count. That's inside. Count goes 1-2 just like last time. Oh, damn. Only 3 hits for the Tigers so far as Joe Kelly checks in place of Cease to cap off the 9th. It's still 0-0 though. They've got 11 hits and somehow have not brought a single base runner home as Torque once again is out in front of the breaking ball. The knuckle curve has been a tough one to hit this game against both pitchers until now. And of course, it's flared right to center field, man. That was a good one. Give me a break. We aren't done. Top of the 11th, man on second. It's 1-1. Torque has a chance to be a hero. He can send all these White Sox fans home crying. And I would really prefer that if we could make contact with the ball. The 1-1 from Lopez is on the way. And it's outside. Torque ahead in the count for what feels like the first time all season. Oh, that's a meatball. Inside and late. Count runs even. Lopez trying to bounce back. Another late swing and Torque's down on strikes. And of course the White Sox win, as you might expect. Detroit gets off to a hot start here in the first inning of Game 3 against Michael Kopech. We're up 2-0, 2 men on. And 1 out, Torque trying to increase the lead as that will get down for extras to the right center gap on the very first pitch to him. That will score 2 runs, and Torque will have a stand-up double to lead off his day against the White Sox in Game 3. Fantastic. That's got to help his confidence. That brings up Dingler. And he chops this one to second base, over to first, and he's out. Torque advances to third. All right, Vierling, bring him home. Nope, he strikes out instead. But a really solid first inning. Great job to take advantage of a slow start by Kopech. And we are in front 4-0. A rare sight for the Tigers. It's Turnbull pitching today for the Tigers. And Benintendi chopped right to Torkelson. Back to second, over to first. Double play ball. That is 3-6-3. Pedro Leon just singled everybody. He's on base. No outs here in the third. First pitch to Torque. Swung on and fouled. The low fastball. Well timed. The sweet contact. That's all right. Kopech the 0-1. Another low fastball. Again, well timed. Torque, you gotta make contact, brother. We're down 0-2 in the count. That's way outside. Not gonna chase that one. I'm not a psycho. Oh, the high heaters. Those are difficult. A 2-run blast from Riley Green has increased the Tigers' lead to 6. Go to the 4th. India at the plate. Grounded to first. Torque is there. No, he's not. It bounced over. He said he was trying to slide for it, but that is just unlucky, I guess. I had no control of that. Davis Martin now on the mound for Chicago. In the 5th, Torque leading off. First pitch. He's underneath it, and he's out. Center field. Nice grab by Oscar Colas. Benintendi behind 0-2 in the count with no outs here in the fifth. Rounded. Torque's running the wrong way. It's a double play ball, and that is 4-6-3. Nice work by Scope right there to make the play. Pedro Leon has singled once more and is on base. No outs here in the seventh for Torkelson. Martin's still out there. That's ball one. Torque hits it up the middle. Ripped right past Martin through second and short. And that will advance Leon to second. 2 runners on, nobody out. Next up is Dylan Dingler. He's 1 for 12 so far this season since being called up. Can he get his second base hit of his career right here and bring home a run? That might have enough. Into left field. No, it's caught. Over there by Benintendi. Leon advances to third safely just in time. Runners at the corners. That brings up Matt Vierling 2 for 4 today. Trying to capitalize on the base running opportunities, but instead he pops out to shallow left. Catch made by Tim Anderson. 2 outs here in the seventh. Next up is Nick Maton. Had an extra base hit earlier in the game. Can he add to it? 3-0 counts. And there's ball 4. Bases loaded for Akil Baddoo, who has had a good day so far. The pitch is hit, belted to right field, but it is caught easily. Gavin Sheets ends the inning. Chicago gets on the board, but we go to the 8th, up by 5 and 2 runners on, one of them in scoring position. There's ball 1. Oh, that is a nice changeup right there. Torque chops this one to second, and he's out. Nice toss there by Jonathan India, and the inning is over. Chicago brings home 3 more, but the Tigers hang on to win 6-4. Just a really good hitting day by pretty much all the players on the team except for Dingler, I think, was one of the only guys who did not have a good day. But Turnbull gets his 8th win of the season. Kopech gets the loss, and Whistler gets his 24th save on the year. I really enjoyed his play as the closer since we brought him in. And Riley Green homered twice, nearly doubling his total on the season. Wow, that's awesome. Torque, as we saw, was 2 for 5. Scope 3 for 4. Baddoo 2 for 5. We had 17 hits as a team. It's been a while since we've seen that. And before I forget, let's head down to Double-A and get some action here for Kai Bush. Starting against the Somerset Patriots, who are an above 500 team. The Seawolves are at 63-63 currently, so trying to finish the year strong. Not a whole lot of games left, but want to get at least 1 game in for Kai Bush today, and then we can head back to the majors and maybe get some action for Pedro Leon to end off the episode and end off the season. Matt Crook is the other starter today for Somerset. So, Kai Bush, first pitch to Elijah Dunham. Bit outside and low for ball 1. Dunham, a 40th round pick. 1-0 count. There's strike 1 upstairs. And Dunham hits this one into left field. The grab is made by Bryant Packard for out number 1. And by the way, I'm not really sure what to expect from Kai Bush because pretty much all of his pitching ratings, aside from velocity, are all in the either high 40s or the mid 50s. So he's really a jack of all trades, and he is not a master of speed, but he does have some on his pitches more than break and anything else. So that is at least good to see as Bastidas pops out to Jace Young at second base. But yeah, Kai Bush, he can pretty much do it all, and he's had a good campaign this year in Double-A as we well known to this point. So I'm really looking for, some nice speed on the fastballs, and we're going to see what else he can do. There's been some contact, some pretty good contact so far by the Patriots, but it's only been 2 at-bats, so hard to really gauge what's going to happen in the future of, Ky Bush's pitches, but 96 mile per hour there upstairs. Count goes 3-0 against Trey Sweeney. Ky Bush get one in the zone? Yes, he can. Can Bush get him? No, we cannot. Fastball above the zone. There's the first base runner for the Patriots. Next up is Spencer Henson. Batting cleanup today. Ball 1. Henson gets a hold of one. That one might be gone. And it is. 2-0 Somerset. He's batting cleanup for a very good reason. Spencer Henson. That had to have been perfect contact. That was a very clean bat sound right there. And just like that, we just watched Ky Bush give up a home run in his first inning that we've watched him pitch. That is unfortunate. Next up is Ryder Green on an 8-game hitting streak. They're going to try and slow him down, obviously, and he apparently homered last game against Jackson Jobe, who started in the previous... Actually, no, this is the first game of this series. Never mind. Joe played against a different team, against Altoona, I think. But either way, Ryder Green, 8-game hitting streak. Going to try and make him start a new one, but he will make it 9. So you are seeing that there is plenty of contact being made by these Patriot batters. So that could be a concern for Ky Bush at this point in his career. Every batter so far has gotten some kind of airtime on the ball. Already 20 pitches here in the first for Bush. Anthony Garcia at the plate. Fouls this one off for strike number 2. Can Bush get him? Yes, he does. He gets out of the first after facing 6 different batters. And it's Spencer Henson who put the Patriots in front. We go to the second. 0-2 count for Lockridge. Grounded. Young is there. The throw is made, and he's out at first for out number 1. James Nelson pops the fastball up. And the catch is made by Mario Feliciano. Nice job there for out number 2. So far, no strikeouts. Actually, no, we had 1 strikeout against Garcia to end the first. But aside from that, every single batter has made some pretty solid contact, I've got to say. Now, popping the ball up, it's not really solid contact, but at least they are touching the bat or touching the ball with the bat. So, got to look out for that. His K per 9 is the highest out of his hit per 9 and walk per 9 out of those 3, but so far, not necessarily seeing it. 2-0 count to Siegler, taken for strike 1. And he's walked. Fastball upstairs, puts him on base. Dunham at the plate, looking at strike 1. 3rd on the team in terms of average. That's why he's a pretty solid leadoff player. Bush gets him to fly out to left field. The Bryant Packard a much quicker second, but still things to work on. Jesus Bastidas leads off the 3rd for Somerset as he fouls off this pitch. It's a 1-2 count for him. And Bush got him looking. There's a backwards K. I have noticed that almost all of Bush's fastballs have been in the zone, while his off-speed has been kind of all over the place. As Sweeney flies out to Packard over and left. Got 2 outs here in the 3rd. But again, most of his fastballs have either been just above the zone, or they've been just in the zone attacking batters. Off speed has been pretty much anywhere that he can put it. But Those high velocity ones, maybe we got to go a little bit away from the plate for a couple of those. That brings up Spencer Henson, who had that home run in the first, but this time will ground out to short. Luis Garcia makes the throw. The Sea Wolves provided some run support for Ky Bush, so it's a tie game at 2-2. We go bottom 4, Ryder Green back up. Third round pick back in 2018 for the Yankees. Still's yet to really see the majors all too much, which is not a surprise given their major league roster, but it's chopped to Bush. Spinning throw to first on line. Garcia at the plate after a strikeout in his first at-bat. Fouls it off for an 0-2 count. Bush ahead. Can he get him swinging? Did he go around? Yes, he did! Another strikeout against Anthony Garcia. That brings up Brandon Lockridge, who skies this one to center field. Grab is made over there by Eric De La Rosa to end the fourth. So after a pretty rough first inning, it's been fairly smooth sailing so far for Ky Bush since then. James Nelson leads off the fifth for Somerset as he fouls this one off. 0-2 count. Bush nearing 60 pitches on the day. Another one fouled off by Nelson. We're seeing not a lot of swings and misses here. There's been a couple of strikeouts, obviously, but not more than you would expect. Count goes 1-2. And did he go around? Nelson also went. And he's down on strikes. Is Ky Bush heating up here in this game? Siegler fouls it off. 2 balls, 1 strike for him. Trying to get back to the top of the order. Another one fouled off. Siegler cranks it right past Bush's head into center field for a base hit with 1 out. Dunham 0 for 2 on the day. Behind in the count 0-1. Slider way outside. He's not going to chase that one. Count goes 2-2. Now it's full. Bush now at 70 pitches. Probably nearing the end of his day. We'll see who comes in place of him once he exits. And he walks Dunham. Change up in the dirt. 2 men on. Bush stays out there with Jesus Bastidas back at the plate. Bastidas underneath it. Into shallow center. The catch is made by Luis Garcia at shortstop. 2 outs here in the 5th. And Bush will stay in to try and complete a full 5 innings. Trey Sweeney next up. Two 2-1 to Sweeney. Grounded to Young at second base. Spinning throw. Nice work to potentially save a run. Bush stays in. Now facing Spencer Henson for the 3rd time here in the game. He gets ahead 0-1 in the count. And then Henson cranks one to center field. De La Rosa gets there in time, showing off the speed. Another nice bat sound out of Henson, though. It's got to scare you a little bit. Even count for Ryder Green. And he swings to the fastball for strike 3. Anthony Garcia in his 3rd at-bat. Underneath this one, Packard makes the grab. Another pretty decent inning here for our pitcher Ky Bush, but that might be it for him. Got through 6 and allowed 2. Well, maybe not quite yet. Bush stays in. He just got to 90 pitches. De La Rosa showing off the speed to get to that flare. For out number 1. Bush will end his day right there. Had to get 1 more out under his belt. 90 pitches. Allowed 2 runs. Got through 6.1. Honestly, after a slow start, a really good day after that. So I appreciate his bounce back performance. And I feel pretty comfortable with him as Hannafy checks in, but that's going to be it for us here in this game. We're going to go back to the majors to get some action for Pedro Leon to finish off our season. The Seawolves do end up taking this game. The win does not go to Bush, obviously, because we weren't winning when he was in the game. But we do win this one 3-2. And it's Hannafy who gets player of the game and the win, thanks to a nearly 3-inning performance with only 1 hit, 5 strikeouts, and 1 walk allowed. The loss goes to Tyler Danish, but Bryant Packer 2 for 4, Feliciano 2 for 3. De La Rosa had a good day batting and out in the outfield. And honestly, pretty good job. Only 4 hits allowed by this Erie pitching staff. So back to the majors we go. Gonna focus on Pedro Leon, who's playing right field for us to end off year 1. Azair Kiner-Falefa at the plate. See, underneath it over to Leon in right field for out number 1 here at the bottom of the first. Kerry Carpenter leads off with a single here in the second as Leon faces Frankie Montas. Or Montas. His name is Frankie. Leon swings to the 90-mile-per-hour slider. Some guys have some real heat behind their off speeds. Ooh, another nice one right there, the splitter. How is a splitter slower than a slider? Is that usually how it goes? Maybe so. That one's inside for ball 1. Good eye there from Leon. He's batted .429 this year after being called up. As this one is hit right to Aaron Judge in right field. Easy grab for him. Labor Torres lifts this one to right, but Leon is here. I'll make the throw to second to ward off the potential tag up, but he was never going to. Leon leads off the 4th for Detroit. Oh, 98-mile-per-hour heater. That one is fast. Another one fouled off the cutter just above the zone. And we are already down 0-2 in the count, just like last time. Not doing Pedro any favors. And that won't help either. Leon back up. I've already torched his average. My bad. Outside for ball 1. Not going to chase those ones. At least not right now. Dude. The splitter is just in such a awkward speed. And now a low one. Jesus Christ. A solo shot from Torque put the Tigers on the board, and now we lead 3-1 here top of the 8th. Clark Schmidt now in on the mound. Leon gets a piece of one finally. That's what you get when there's no Frankie Montas. And Leon shows off the speed to stroll into second base to lead it off. There we go. His first double of his career. And guess who's up? It's Spencer Torkelson. Can he get on base again? It looks like he will. Oh my god, I hesitated. Please get home. Leon is... No! That's on me. No! I just ruined an RBI for Torque and a run for Leon. That's not even I mean, sure, it's Aaron Judge making a nice throw, but if I don't hesitate to go, I'm safe. Shit. We will not be talking about that last play any longer. Gonna put that one to the back of our minds. Judge at the plates. Into right field. Leon makes the grab to end the 8th. And the Tigers just beat the Yankees? Are you kidding me? Let's go! It's not gonna help our draft position, but I don't care. That's a nice-ass win right there. Frankie Montas gets the loss. Whistler gets his 25th save, and Boyd gets the win. Torque was 3 for 4, had a good day. Leon was 1 for 4. We might have a pretty fun outfield, guys, if Akil Baddoo, Riley Green, and Pedro Leon all play as well as they are right now. There could be something out there. There could be. The Tigers once again beat up on the opposing pitcher to start the game. It's 2-0 Tigers, 2 men on, 2 outs for Leon against Carlos Rodon. That one's upstairs for ball 1. Oh, high fastball. Clipped the zone. Could have gone either way. Chose to swing. Inside slider. Should have left that one be. And now we swing through the fastball right down the pipe. Alright, we got to do better this time around. Oh, that's crushed! Is that the first home run of Leon's career? I think it is! Let's go! Pedro Leon, I love this guy already. First pitch in his second at-bat of the game. See ya! 387. First career home run for Pedro Leon. What a stud he has been in a couple of games that he's played for us since being called up. Woo! Got all of that one. There was no doubt. As soon as that one came off the bat, it was gone. Have we found our next outfield starter? A Ryan Kreidler solo shot ups our lead to 4. Yankees still have nothing. Aaron Hicks lifts this one to Leon in right field, and he makes the grab at the warning track. Is a replay of the grab. 1-footer leaning on the wall. That's awesome. Also, we cannot forget about Eduardo Rodriguez, who has had a great turnaround this year after a slow start. Has really put things together pitching-wise. He has been awesome, and he continues to do so against the Yankees here in this game. No runs allowed through 5. Leon, bit behind this one, and he flies out, but I don't need to see any more from Pedro Leon. We will still have one more game with him, but I don't got to see any more. This guy's fun. Higashioka just got the game back to 1 run. Alex Slang now in the game. Erod not out there. I don't know if he was the one who gave up the homer, but that makes it a 1-run game. LeMahieu skies this one, and Leon makes the grab to end the inning, but now it's a tight game. Top of the 9th facing Glenn Otto. Detroit still up by 1, trying to potentially add some insurance. I don't think Leon got enough of that one. Nope. Right to Aaron Judge, easy out. Does Detroit hang on to this slim lead to win the series against the Yankees, because we took game 1 by a run? And it looks like Aaron Judge walked, and Stanton strikes out to end the game. The Tigers win 2 in a row by slim margins against the Yankees. We're honestly only like 3 or 4 games above 500, not what I would expect from them. But another win, a series win. Kreidler goes yard, Leon goes yard, Riley Green 1 for 4, Matt Vierling 2 for 4. Good work once again. And it was Erod who did give up that 3-run homer, but prior to that, had a great day. Alright, to wrap up, I think we're going to get our last game with Leon in the last game of the season against the Guardians on the 1st of October. So let's send to the rest of September, see where the team ends up. We'll go over a couple of stats to end the year. We'll look through the AAA and AA stats at the end as well to see, who is the top prospect, or who are the top prospects that played the best over the entire course of the season instead of just right now or the last month or two. And so, the Mud Hens, our AAA affiliate, have finished the year at 78 and 72, just above 500, but they do not make the postseason. The Seawolves finish at 500, and they also missed the postseason, but that's all right. So we simmed through September, and Detroit now has a record of 68-93. So we did lose a few more games the last couple of weeks to go back to 25 games below 500. But one game left against the Guardians. We're going to see what Leon can do against McKenzie, and then we'll go through some stats to end the season. And by the way, Leon's attributes are all still going up, besides his lefty power down by 1. But everything else pretty much going up. His speed's gone down by 1, but that's all right. And he is still batted very well. 284 average, 400 slugging. He's now got 2 home runs, 5 doubles, 27 total hits. So that's pretty promising. I like what I'm seeing from him, like a lot. Oh, by the way, I did hear that quirks are pretty important, so just cycling through, nobody really has any except for Matt Vealing for pinch hitting. And otherwise, nobody else in the majors even has one, at least for our batters. And Torkelson is pretty much back to the average that he had last year. So once again, batting around 203, 202. Slugging is definitely better than last year. But I'm still kind of worried about him not meeting his potential. I mean, attributes are going up in some areas, in most, but he's losing a little bit of contact, some vision, a little bit of power, and some base running aggressiveness. But I don't know. I think that you know, there has been some give and take. His overall has gone from 63 to 66, and he's getting some better righty contact and power. So he'll obviously, you know, stay up here for the last game of this season. And I think if he plays well enough in spring training in a few episodes, then he will probably start with the team in the majors next season. So we'll see how it goes, but I still want to see more from him though. 202, that's not good. Spencer Turnbull starts our final game of the season. He's currently 9-14, ERA above 4, with over 1.4. But today is all about Pedro Leon. It's also about just wrapping up year number 1 and getting into our first off season. Andres Jimenez hits this one right to Leon in right field. McKenzie on the mound today for Cleveland. Inside for ball 1. The 1-0. Ooh. 12-6 curve in there for strike number 1. We know who the ump is. It's Larry Ballard. Ooh, another slider. He's got 2 off speed and then 1 fastball, but he's making the most of all of them right now. Leon's out on strikes. The Guardians lead 4-1 here in the 4th, but man on second and no outs for Leon as he fouls off the fastball just a little bit behind it. He's got some heat on that one. That slider, man, just clipping the edge, barely. Really tough one to know to swing on or not. And now we swing at a dirt pitch. Unreal. We go top of the 6th. Bo Naylor back up. He had a 2-run blast earlier in the game. And he has another one sky high in right field. Leon coming over at the warning track, making the grab. And the runner will advance to third, but nice speed right there by Leon. Plenty of run support for McKenzie here in this one. Not a lot for Turnbull. Bottom of the 6th, nobody out, or no, 2 outs. For Pedro Leon, nobody on. And that one can't get by the third baseman. Does Leon have the speed to get to first? Yes, he does. Infield single. After ripping it down the third base line. So it's not going to be a hitless day after all. Good. Torkelson steps up. Already has a home run in the series. Can he add one more to cap off his second year in the majors? Not here. 3 solo home runs. Have the Guardians up now by 8. We go bottom 9. 1 out. McKenzie trying to cap off his year with a complete game. He's only allowed 1 run. A few pitches shy of 100. And Leon can't make the most of that slider, which was a beautiful pitch to swing on. 1 out until our year here in year 1 is over. And it is over. 9-1 loss. Torkelson flew out. A bummer game to end off on, but at least we got another hit for Leon. He ends off with a great average in his first major league stint, which is fantastic. But what change is coming to the Detroit Tigers? Should be plenty of staff changes, plenty of roster moves, plenty of signings. So we'll see what happens. Jimenez homered twice in this one. And he only had 4 hits, but Leon had one of them. Go him. The Tigers end the year at 68-94, which is good for dead last in the AL Central. Thankfully, not as bad as pretty much any other team in terms of finishing last. We're only 20 games back from the White Sox. Looks like all the other last place teams were either, well, most of them were a lot more games back than we were. So I guess that's okay. But the year is over. We're going to advance to the postseason. And yeah, that obviously was not good enough to make the postseason. So on the season, in terms of guys that we still have on the roster, not including guys who won't qualify, who was the best batter? Well, it was center fielder Matt Vierling. Oddly enough, he was playing DH for the most part. Came into pinch hit and pinch run a couple of times, but a 286 average, 7 home runs, 128 hits, 12 stolen bases. Pretty good slugging stuff right there. I love seeing that. And yeah, he was our best batter. So, good for him. Kerry Carpenter, another outfielder, 275 average. We got Kerry Carpenter, Matt Vierling, Acubadu, Riley Green, and now Pedro Leon to work with. That is promising. Badu also hit 275, and Carpenter had 20 home runs, which I believe led the team. Yes, it did. And he was batting cleanup for most of the season. Meadows had 18, but he's going to be leaving us. Jonathan Scope, do we decide to bring him back? I forget. Yes, we did, because he was having a good year for the most part, batting 263, 16 home runs, 53 RBIs. Kerry Carpenter had by far the most RBIs with 88. So we put him in a pretty good position. Maybe Matt Vierling. I think he's better fitted as like a second or third batter in our lineup. But Riley Green, in his second season, batting 263 this year, much better than last year. Had a lot more at-bats as well. And still has the potential. Overall is going up. Nothing going down for him. He's going to be in good shape going into next season. Loving what I'm seeing from him. Does he have any quirks? No. But we have him for a little while longer. A couple more years until we have to re-sign him. And we currently have not used any of his minor league options. So that's pretty good. Austin Meadows batted 250 with slugging above 400. Nick Maton, Ryan Kreidler, Torkelson, Rogers, Navigato, all guys who severely underperformed. And Nick Maton is not going to be returning to this team. This was his final game. Same story for Ryan Kreidler. Despite his overall going up for the most part in pretty much every area by a couple of points, we're going to move on from him. For Torkelson, we need him to take advantage of his potential. He has to realize that, but so far he's not. And his average ends up being 200 on the season after being called up. So, hopefully, if we start him in the majors next year, hopefully he has a good spring training after, a bit of a break, can come back and can do some special things. Jake Rogers will not be returning to our team, and Navigato is going to be staying in AAA. So those are all the guys who qualified. Obviously, Pedro Leon had a really good stint in the last month of the season. I think Dingler hit just below like 210, pretty much around Torque's numbers is where he was. What about pitching? Who had the most strikeouts? It was Erod. No shocker to me. 173 on the season. Schoolball had 158. Matthew Boyd 144. And all three guys got their ERAs to around 3, which I really appreciate. Their whips are all pretty similar. We got to keep all three of these guys here. We do let Matthew Boyd walk, though, but we really could bring him back. Schoolball, we obviously re-signed to a massive contract. Erod, we brought back. Or no, he's still on that big deal that he was brought in before I took over. But he went 12-12. Schoolball goes 12-8. Matthew Boyd 7-6. Really considering bringing him back into the fold. But all three guys pitched really well. All of them had a lot of quality starts, especially Erod and Schoolball. Turnbull had a bad first half, a good middle, and a slow second half of the season. But he still wasn't all that bad. 4.3 RA, 1.46 whip. So we'll see about him. I believe he still is on contract for at least one more season. But 11 quality starts, 1 shutout, and Erod had 3. And he had 4 complete games. So he was definitely our best pitcher this season. Might have to move him up to our ace spot over Schoolball to start next year, because that's where he was to start the year. And I moved Schoolball up over him. So that's pretty good. But look at this K per 9, 8.22, 7.55 for Schoolball. Those are some pretty solid numbers. Walk per 9 is fairly low. Home run per 9 for Erod even lower with 0.76. Man, yeah, he was awesome. Gonna have fun watching him pitch for the next couple of seasons, unless he screws up a lot, which I don't think he will. As for Matt Manning, he did not have as bad of a year as I thought he was going to after a terrible start. Ends up having some better numbers than Turnbull, actually, so that is definitely a thing to think about there. Casey Mize brought his ERA down below 4, and his whip is now down to 1.27, so he definitely had an up and down season. Again, he is going to be a free agent, so we'll consider bringing him back. Alex Lang, not really sure how I feel about him, because he was not good as a closer. His ERA is down to 2.87 now, and a whip at 1.28. So, I think he has done a lot better in a non-closing reliever role. But is it worth bringing back? I don't know. Walk per 9 is one of the highest on the team. I mean, so is the K per 9, so that's good. 9.11 is pretty absurd. 3.19 FIP, which is really solid. So there is definitely some merits to potentially looking at keeping him around, and we do have him on contract for 2 more seasons. Whistler, though, I really like what he did. Despite the 8 blown saves, for the most part, he was pretty solid. 7.36 K per 9, 3.27 walk per 9, 1.23 home run per 9, 4.25 FIP. These advanced numbers don't look too great, but if you look at his ERA, it actually is not as good as I thought it was. So hold on a minute, he might not be the guy to close. He had 28 saves, 8 of them blown, so that's not a good ratio. What about Rosenthal? 29.1 innings pitched, 1.53 ERA, 1.02 whip. Yeah, he was pretty good, but he's old. Cisnero, we're moving on from him. Foley, same thing. And AAA, it actually cleared the stats for those players, so I can't even see how they did. I can see Leon's stats from this year in the majors. Yeah, just below 100 at-bats. Batted 283 on the season, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs. And he was solid. He's definitely going to be a spring training invite next season. But I can't see the stats for pretty much anybody else. Dingler batted 195 after being called up. So that did not pan out, but his overall still went up. He's still got a lot of attribute upgrades, so good seeing that. And what about Winslow Perez? He batted 232, so better than Dingler. So yeah, we have a lot more prospects coming into the farm system as we saw from our draft last episode, but that was all the guys down in AAA. I can't see the pitching stats either, so that's really unfortunate. So I guess I missed out on seeing those stats, but But that's all right. I think we have a pretty solid idea of the top prospects within our own organization. And next year, we're going to see if we have any top 50 ranked prospects along with Jackson Jobe, who was our only top 50 prospect last season and this season as well. So we're going to sim the rest of the postseason and get ourselves to the off season. We're going to cap off right here. It looks like the Braves have defeated the Astros for the 2023 World Series pennant. Congratulations to them. We're going to skip all the postseason stats. Don't care about those. And our third base coach has retired. That's all right. We'll find somebody else. I was going to make some staff changes either way. And now we do have to bring in somebody new for manager and for first base coach. That's all right. For retired players, is there anybody in here that actually is worth a mention? Well, I'm not the best baseball expert, but there is Zach Greinke who has retired. I know about him. Interesting. Austin Romine has retired. Okay. Adam Wainwright, Jason Hayward, Alex Cobb, and then a lot of free agents. And Robinson Cano also retired and is now a 2023 Hall of Fame inductee, as he rightly should be. So, we have reached the off season with plenty of holes in our staff, holes in our roster, things to do, offers to make. We'll pick it up next time, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. And our very first off season comes your way next time out. I'll see you guys then. Peace.